What would you call a group of Megatrons? A tyrant of Megatroni? A load of Megatronuses? So, another video for Kings of War, and this time we are looking at the Order of the Brothermark. Now, this is an army which is a themed list. What that means is that it's taken from a main list, from either the main rulebook or from one of the three main lists in here, or master list I think they're actually called, and it takes units from that and changes bits here and there, such as alignment, different army upgrade, and a few special rules and the like. What the main difference is that you cannot take allies if you use a themed army, should I say. The Order of the Brothermark are more traditional knights in a way. They use a fair few knights. They also use infantry that, while are a bit naff stat wise, are fairly cheap. So you've got that going on there. They also have a fair number of well, they're fairly fast, should I say, and either have got good defence or a lot of attacks. Let's see what they do. So the army special upgrades are found in the 3rd edition Uncharted Empires book. It starts on page 36 in the Uncharted Empire book and on page 237 in the main rulebook, because it's the themed list that takes from the Basilian army. So you want to look in them two slots to work out where everything is. But the armor special upgrades, because there are two. The first one is Aegis Fragment. Once per game, when this unit's Iron Resolve is used, it can regain a maximum of 2 points of damage previously suffered instead of 1. This unit's Aegis Fragment is then destroyed and cannot be used again for the remainder of the game. That's always good. Use it whenever possible. It just makes them a bit more resilient. The Gauntlet. The unit gains Duelist, which is good against heroes, but anything else, meh. So, starting with the Infantry. The Men-at-Arms Swordsman. Speed 5, melee 4+, defense 4+. Troop 10 attacks, nerve 911, 70 points. Regiment 12 attacks, nerve 1315, 105 points. Horde 25 attacks, nerve 2022, 175 points. They've got Iron Resolve. Upgrade with a Veteran Command, increasing the unit's route and waiver values by 1. 5 points for a troop, 10 points for a regiment, and 15 points for a horde. Basic infantry, they're fairly standard. They've got Iron Resolve, which is good. Hits on 4s in close combat, it's alright. Defenses 4 in close combat, it's not bad. Stat wise, it's attacks wise and what nerve values, it's alright. Not bad points cost, they're not the cheapest, but obviously his stats kind of reflect this. Next we have the Men-at-Arms Spearmen. Speed 5, melee 4+, defense 4+. Troop 12 attacks, nerve 911, 80 points. Regiment 15 attacks, nerve 1315, 125 points. Horde 30 attacks, nerve 2022, 205 points. Iron Resolve and Phalanx. And you can upgrade with a Veteran Command, increasing the unit's route and waiver value by 1. 5 points for a troop, 10 points for a regiment, 15 points for a horde. Obviously these are better than the Swordsman because they've got more attacks and they've got Phalanx. The downside is that they cost more points. I mean, a horde is 30 more points, a regiment's 20 more points, and troops 10 more points. Have them as a regiment at the lowest, don't bother with the troop. That it just seems a bit pointless to me. Having them as a horde makes it really hard for flying things or stuff with thunderous charge to get the best out of them. I mean, mostly you get thunderous charge from cavalry sort of things, so that can stop them in its tracks. And we also have Paladin Footguard. Speed 5, melee 3 plus, defense 5 plus. Troop 10 attacks, nerve 11 13, 100 points. Regiment 12 attacks, nerve 15 17, 150 points. Headstrong, Iron Resolve. Upgrade to Paladin Defenders, and you can only have one of these in your army for 15 points. You can only do it at the regiment level. Gains Aura Elite in melee, Paladin Infantry owner, which isn't bad. Exchange shields for two-handed weapons, lowering defense to 4 and gaining Crusher Strength 1 for free. It's not bad, you might consider that. Only do that as a regiment, otherwise, nah. And Aegis Fragment for 5 points. That's alright. That's alright, Aegis Fragment. You've got Iron Resolve and Headstrong. That's never a bad thing at all. So next we have the Infantry, Villain Penitents, and they are irregular. Speed 5, melee 5 plus, defense 3 plus. Regiment 12 attacks, nerve 11 14, 90 points. Horde 25 attacks, nerve 18 21, 150 points. Legion 30 attacks, nerve 24 27, 215 points. And they have Crushing Strength 1. They're pretty decent in terms of nerve and attacking power. They've got Crushing Strength 1. Their main downside is that their attacking power in terms of their melee stat and their defense stat ain't that great, but there are magical artifacts to kind of compensate from that. They're not bad, but I don't know why they're irregular. If they weren't irregular, I'd just take them every day. But they're irregular. That makes it a problem because they are more points cost than the swordsmen or the spearmen. They're cheaper than the foot guard, but not by much, I have to say. Well, I say that 60 points different. It's 60 points different, but it's not. It doesn't feel like 60 points difference worth of stuff. It feels more like 100 points. It feels more like 10 points difference. And think about taking them, but maybe don't bother with them too much. So next we have the Ranged Infantry. Starting with the Men-at-Arms Crossbowmen. Speed 5, melee 5 plus, range 5 plus, defense 4 plus. Troop 8 attacks, nerve 9 11, 100 points. Regiment 10 attacks, nerve 13 15, 130 points. Horde 20 attacks, nerve 20 22, 230 points. They've got Iron Resolve. And crossbows, which are 24-inch range, piercing 1 and pot shot. These aren't bad. Yes, you need 6s and half your attacks if you move and shoot with them, and you need 5 to hit with them. So I would probably have them as a troop. Probably have them as a troop because at least they got piercing with 24-inch range. The hit on 5s, which is their main downside, to be honest. That's my main bugbear with them. They're a little bit expensive, and you need 5 to hit with them. That's my main problem with them. But they're not irregular, so you can go mad with them if you want to, I suppose. Next we have the Villain Bowmen. Speed 5, melee 6 plus. Ooh, wow. Range 5 plus, defense 3 plus. Troop 8 attacks, nerve 8 10, 70 points. Regiment 10 attacks, nerve 12 14, 95 points. Horde 20 attacks, nerve 19 21, 165 points. And they've got phalanx and bows, which are 24-inch range. These are an interesting one. I suppose I've got phalanx because I think they're bowmen where they stick giant stakes into the ground, which I can see the point of. At least with that, they're not getting big charges hurting them too much at least. I don't think it'll matter too much because their defense is 3, which is not that great, and their ranged is 5. I'd have thought the range would be 4 or whatever. I mean, they're cheap. They are cheap. 70 points for a troop or 95 points for a regiment is as far as I'd go. I won't bother with the Horde because the base size is too big, and the points cost just doesn't warrant it, I don't think. We have the cavalry. Starting with the Paladin Knights. Speed 8, melee 3 plus, defense 5 plus. Troop 8 attacks, nerve 12 14, 135 points. Regiment 16 attacks, nerve 1517. 16 attacks, nerve 1517, 210 points. Horde 32 attacks, nerve 2224, 355 points. That's not cheap, but they are good. Headstrong, Iron Resolve, Thunderous Charge 2, and can take an Aegis Fragment for 5 points. They're a good cavalry unit, they're heavy. Their main downside is their points cost, but considering they're some of the most powerful heavy cavalry in the game, it's kind of what you expect. Don't go mad on them. I mean, you can if you want, but considering unless you're getting the charges off, they're pretty useless. Just be careful taking them. Next with Order of the Abyssal Hunt. Try and say that really fast. No, don't. Speed 8, melee 3+, defense 5+. Troop 8 attacks, nerve 1214, 145 points. Regiment 16 attacks, nerve 1517, 225 points. Crush Strength 1, Fury, Iron Resolve, Thunderous Charge 1, Vicious in melee versus monsters and titans. Can take an Aegis Fragment 5 points and the Gauntlet for 10 points. I probably wouldn't bother with the Gauntlet in most cases because it's only really used on hero type things, so maybe don't bother with that. Aegis Fragment, never a bad thing. They are more points cost than the Paladin Knights, and overall I feel they are better, unless you take the Paladin Knights as a horde, obviously. They're not that, they're only about 10 points different in points cost, and I mean, what do you get difference-wise? You've got Fury, which means you can do counter charges even if you wavered, great. You've got Crush Strength 1, which already puts them over the Paladin Knights because you have to get the charges off to make the most out of them. Yes, you have to get the charge off with the Order of the Abyssal Hunt for them to be the best, but at least they can still penetrate defense because they've got Crush Strength 1. They're also not bad monster hunters because they've got Vicious, so you can reroll ones to wound against monsters and titans. So there's that. And you can take as many as you want. I suppose you could mix hordes of Paladin Knights and regiments and troops of these if you wanted. I suppose there's that. Next we have the Lane Skirmishers. Speed 9, melee 4+, defense 4+. Troop 7 attacks, nerve 911, 95 points. Regiment 14 attacks, nerve 1214, 145 points. Nimble and Thunderous Charge 1. It's a shame they haven't got bows, to be honest. I don't know why they haven't got bows, but hey, whatever. They are what they are. They're cheap. That's the main thing about them, they're cheap. To be honest, take hordes of Paladin Knights if you want Paladin Knights. Go troop or regiment for Order of the Abyssal Hunt, and then go regiments on these and use these for your main charging unit. Yes, Paladin Knights have got Thunderous Charge 2, but Order of Abyssal Hunt can technically do the same thing with not much of a points increase. So unless you take them as horde, don't bother with Paladin Knights, I don't think. Overall, I can see the point of all of them. The Lane Skirmishers are the fastest. The Order of the Abyssal Hunt are good Titan Hunters and just good all-rounders. The Paladin Knights are the best chargers, but only if you're going big with them. Next we have the Large Infantry. They are the Ogre Palace Guard. Speed 6, melee 3+, defense 5+. Regiment 9 attacks, nerve 1214, 140 points. Horde 18 attacks, nerve 1517, 235 points. Brutal, Crush Strength 2 and Iron Resolve. They're pretty decent. They are really good. You can do a whole army of them if you want, but I would if you're not taking the heroes or just taking mass units, these are really going to be complemented with your Order of the Abyssal Hunt or your Lane Skirmishers. They will really work well with the Ogre Palace Guard. Because they are a bit slow, you need something to get in there quick and just punch things. Maybe take a few war machines just help with that, but I think in the Order of the Brothermark army, the Ogre Palace Guard are going to be a focal unit. And plus, Ogre Paladins. What's not to like? Next we have the war engines. Starting with the Heavy Arbalist. Speed 5, range 4+, defense 4+, 2 attacks, nerve 10-12, 85 points. Iron Resolve. The Heavy Arbalist is 48-inch range, blast D3, piercing 2, reload. You can move and shoot with it. No, you can't. That's pot shot. You can't move and shoot with it, but it hits on 4s, minimum damage of 1, maximum damage of 6, with piercing 2 at 48-inch range. That's not bad. That's not bad. 85 points. It's pretty decent points cost. Next we have the Verlaine Siege Artillery. Speed 5, range 5+, defense 4+, 2 attacks, nerve 9-11, 90 points. Artillery Strike, which is 48-inch range, blast D3+1, ignores cover, indirect, piercing 3, reload, and the kitchen sink. The Siege Artillery is only 5 points more. The blast is bigger, minimum damage of 1, maximum damage of 8. It's got piercing 3, which means it's really good on things like Earth Elementals, because they've got defense 6. It ignores covers, so again, really good on big stuff, or indeed anything, really. The downsides of it is that its ranged stat is worse than the Heavy Arbalist, and its nerve is a bit less, but then again, War Machines, if your nerve is anything higher than 10-12, you are really doing good. There's a point of taking either. Do you want something a bit direct? Heavy Arbalist. Do you want something that's got a bit of risk to it, but when it goes off, it really does go off? We've got the Verlaine Siege Artillery. We have the Titan. It is the Phoenix. Spellcaster rank 0. Speed 10, melee 3+, defense 3+. 5 attacks, nerve 14-16, 195 points. Crush strength 1, fly, nimble, radiance of life, regeneration 4+. Fireball 10 and heal 5. It's pretty good. I've said this before in the Basiline review, but the Phoenix is a really good support Titan. It can really help your cavalry out, your ogre palace guard. Just take it however you want. It can do a bit of close combat. I guess 5 attacks, crushing strength 1, hitting on 3s. Yeah, it can, but it's more there for support options. Again, it can also do shooting with Fireball 10. That's not bad. But Radiant's Life, so everyone within 6 heals a wound back. It's also got heal 5, so you can get that off pretty well. Yes, its defense is 3, but you've got regeneration 4+, which means it's going to be hard to take down. So we have the heroes. Starting with the bearer of the holy icon, the infantry hero. Speed 5, melee 5+, defense 4+. 1 attack, nerve 10-12, 50 points. Individual inspiring iron resolve. Mount on the horse, increasing speed to 8 and changing to hero cavalry for 25 points. I would say no to that one. Like most things that are cheap, inspiring, there's better ways to do it. It's especially not as necessary in this army like Basiline's because of iron resolve. Although saying this, you've got the Verlaine stuff which hasn't got iron resolve, so if you go and high Verlaine stuff, then maybe. Otherwise, no. Next we have the Dictator, which is also a hit infantry hero. Speed 5, melee 3+, defense 5+. 4 attacks, nerve 12-14, 95 points. Crush strength 2, duelist, individual, inspiring, iron resolve, and mighty. Dictator's fairly cheap. It's 100 points, which is nice. It's a roadblock hero because it's got mighty. It's also not bad against other heroes because it's got a duelist, which is also good. Crush strength 2, which means it can have a bit of a pop at high defense targets, mainly monsters and titans sort of thing. Brings them down to defense 3 or 4. It's not bad. It's not a hero I'd go heavy on, but is not a bad option for what it is, I'd say. Next we have Priest. He's a infantry hero, spellcaster rank 1. Speed 5, melee 4+, defense 4+. 1 attack, nerve 11, 13, 75 points. Crush strength 1, individual, inspiring and resolve. It's got heal 3 to start with. Mount on a horse, increasing speed to 8 and changing to hero cavalry for 25 points. Not a bad option. Bane Chant 2 for 20 points. Bastion 1, you can only have one of these in your army for 10 points. Martyr's Prayer 7, you can only have one of these in your army for 35 points. Cleanse, if one or more hits are scored by this unit's heal spell, this target's unit is no longer weakened or hexed. I can see that being more usable with a lot of people if they use a lot of spellcasters, mainly with the Night Stalkers. But in most instances, I can't see that being a big thing. I could be wrong, put in the comments below. The Priest isn't bad. It gives you a bit of support with healing. Bane Chant is an option, makes it 95 points. I'd either take that or go for one of the other spells. Martyr's Prayer is not bad. It means the Priest is basically going to die if something looks at him funny. But it's a nice support option. You could take both Martyr's Prayers and heal if you want. But if you're going to use Martyr's Prayer, then chances are he's going to be dead before he gets some healing off. So I would maybe not consider that if it was me. Next we have the War Wizard, Hero Infantry, Spellcaster rank 2. Speed 5, melee 5+, defense 4+. 1 attack, nerve 10, 12, 75 points. Individual and Iron Resolve. It's got Fireball 10 to start with. Mount on the horse, increasing speed to 8 and changing to hero cavalry for 25 points. Not bad, I suppose. Bane Chant 2 for 20 points. Lightning Bolt 4 for 30 points, or 3 if it replaces Fireball. Maybe, but for 4 shots versus 10 shots, you work out the maths. Wind Blast 6 for 25 points. No. Maybe if you mount on the horse, but even then, I'd probably say no. The War Wizard, considering you can also take a Priest, I would take the Priest over the War Wizard because the War Wizard's got better support options and has also got better nerve value. I can see the point of taking the War Wizard, but again, considering what else you've got, no. Absolutely not. Next we have the High Paladin on Dragon. Hero Titan, Spellcaster rank 0. Speed 10, melee 3+, range 4+, defense 5+. 10 attacks, nerve, dash 19, 310 points. It's not cheap. Crush strength 3, fly, inspiring, iron resolve, nimble, dragon's breath, which is 12 inch range with steady aim. Not bad. Heal 4 for 15 points. Maybe. Aegis Fragment for 5 points. That's not a bad upgrade. 315 points. I mean, it's 330 points for both upgrades. That's about standard for dragony sort of Titan sort of heroes. Maybe consider taking both. Obviously don't use it in small games, but come on, it's a paladin on a massive dragon. It's going to be good. Next we have the Exemplar Paladin, Infantry. Speed 5, melee 3+, defense 5+. 5 attacks, nerve 13, 15, 105 points. Crush strength 1, elite in melee, headstrong, individual, inspiring, iron resolve and mighty. Mount on a horse, increasing speed to 8 and changing to hero cavalry for 35 points. Aegis Fragment for 5 points, the Gauntlet for 10 points. Lead from the front, and you can only have one of these in your army. Gain Rallying 1, infantry only for 10 points. This upgrade cannot be taken in addition to a horse mount. I don't know why, but whatever. Unless you're taking lead from the front, I can't see the point in taking this one. Maybe take the Gauntlet because that'd be funny. Otherwise, just take one with lead from the front. I can see the point because of rallying. Other than that, no. Next we have the Exemplar Chaplain. Yeah. Hero Infantry, Spellcaster rank 1. Speed 5, melee 3+, defense 5+. 3 attacks, nerve 11, 13, 60 points. Crush strength 1, elite in melee, individual, iron resolve, rallying 1, villain only. Cleanse, if one or more hits are scored by this unit's heal spell, the target is no longer weakened or hexed. Mount on a horse, increasing speed to 8 and changing hero cavalry for 25 points. Maybe. Upgrade with battle hymns, gaining or fury villain only for 5 points. Aegis fragment for 5 points. Heal 2 for 10 points. Always take the battle hymns, it's only 5 points, so it's 65 points for taking it. Maybe go for heal 2. It's only heal 2, which is its main downside, so you're going to have to buy the magical artifact to make it heal 4. I think that's what it does. Put in comments below if I'm wrong. He's not bad support hero, especially if you're going Villain heavy. If you're not going Villain heavy, he is a bit naff, to be honest. But yeah, I suppose that makes, I suppose the exemplar chaplain kind of telling you should really take some Villain stuff. I mean, what have you got? You've got the war, you've got the siege artillery, you've got the penitents, you've got the bowmen, and you've got the skirmishers, which all fit into that category. So, you know, you've got them options to consider if you want to go Villain heavy. Obviously, you want to have a cheaper sort of Brotherhood / Basilian army. So, in that instance, you might as well go Basilian, to be honest. But it's a different flavour, I suppose. Finally, we have the Exemplar Hunter, Hero Infantry. Speed 5, melee 3+, defense 5+. 4 attacks, nerve 12-14, 90 points. Elite in melee, crush strength 2, individual, iron resolve, and mighty. Dragon Slayer. This unit gains vicious in melee only, against monsters and titans only, and doubles its attacks when attacking a monster and titan or a titan in melee. That's a really good ability. Means it's got 8 attacks at crusher strength 2, and it's mighty, so it's going to be a road hump. I honestly would always mount on a horse. It makes it 125 points, but it's going to be there with 8 attacks, hitting on 3s. Yeah. If you know you're going against a monster or titan heavy army, you're probably going to see at least 1 titan and maybe a couple of monsters. Yeah, definitely. Night Stalkers are going to have a hell of a lot of monsters, so this will be good to take down them big things, which I said in the Night Stalkers review, if you don't take out them big things, they are going to decimate you. So the main hero, I think, for the Order of the Brothermark against Night Stalkers is the Hunter. Easily. You can take the Gauntlet for 10 points if you want. Good against heroes, not good against anyone else, I suppose. Yeah. Against monsters and titans, yeah, fantastic. They are a cheaper form of Basilian. I'm sorry to say, but that's basically it. There is a few things you can do with them. Yes, again, like I said, they're cheap, so that kind of helps somewhat. They have got better cavalry options than the Basilians, I have to say. They also, if you go heavy Villain, has a good support hero option. They also have one of the best anti-monster and titan heroes going in the Hunter. I mean, I didn't know he could double his attacks. I mean, 4 attacks standard, but 8 attacks against monsters and titans. I mean, against things like Greater Earth Elementals, against any sort of elemental, should I say. I mean, against Dragons type heroes, that's going to decimate them easily. And because it's mighty, it's going to be a road hump. The heroes aren't bad for the Order of the Brothermark. The only real ones that I'd say are not worth taking is the War Wizard and the Holy Icon Bearer. And really, there's not anything I'd say is never worth taking for the Order of the Brothermark in terms of normal units, because everything has a purpose. There are some stuff that's better than other stuff, like the Men-at-Arms crossbowmen is a bit more expensive than the Villains with just their bows, but the Villains are a bit cheaper, so it kind of works out there. I would mix and match. with your army, you've got cavalry that complements the heavily armoured stuff really well in this list. Like I say, you can go really to town on the heavy stuff, and then your cavalry, you've still got fairly cheap cavalry in terms of the Verlaine cavalry option, and then you've got the Abyssal Hunt cavalry, which is a bit better, I feel, than the Paladin Knights, unless you take them as a horde. So all the cavalry units complement stuff like the Paladins on foot and the Ogre Palace Guard. It's a very complementary army. Would I say it's a beginner army? Maybe. But I'd go Basilian and then see if you want to split them off and do these instead. You're still getting about half the Basilian force that you can use in this, and most of it isn't bad. The only things you're missing is more the angelic stuff, like no Hiloe, no Hiloe, no character Hiloe, and no unique characters at all. So that's it for the Order of the Brothermark. Goodbye for now.